What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Kingdom of Giants podcast by Common Men Sports. I'm your host, Brandon. I'm here with the GOAT, Jackson. Misery. We're just going to get
Man.
right into it because I have to share some funny facts and stats with Jackson. You ready to hear this, Jackson?
Facts, stats. I'm ready to hear it. I'm ready to hear it, man.
I'm just going to pull it up to make sure it is 100% accurate, but it is funny. So
I got you.
Oh God, I don't think you're ready.
All right.
Daniel Jones. Let me just get the pressure stat. The Giants had the second. So Daniel Jones had 18 dropbacks on Sunday.
Okay.
The O-line was responsible for 50 out of the percentage of pressure. Oh, no, my bad. Blah, blah. Daniel Jones was pressured on 18 of his dropbacks on Sunday. Okay.
18. Wow. 18. All right.
The offensive line was responsible for 55.6. That is the second lowest in football. So offensive line was great. You ready for this?
Okay, go on.
Daniel Jones was responsible for 7 of those pressures, the third highest rate.
So what does that? So to the Giants fans, the Giants Nation mania, you know what this means? You know what this means? Out of all 6 years, right? We finally got an O-line that can hold. We finally have something that's working for us. And it comes down to one motherfucking person. And that's DJ. And that's DJ. I don't even want to call him DJ. That sounds like a cooler name. No, I'm going to call him by Jones now. I'm going to call him by Jones.
Let me get his full name. Let me look up his full name.
I am sick and tired. Like, with that stat even being true, that's the lowest. We're the lowest with
second lowest pressure rate.
And that was one of the biggest things with the Giants, with the New York Giants, with our offense having a line that can actually help out the quarterback. That's what we were looking for. And you're telling me we're the second lowest, and we're pulling a stunt on the Vikings like we did a couple days ago? Are you joking me? I was ready. I was ready for a Sunday night game, a 1:00 against the Vikings. I was ready. There was the 100th anniversary or something like that with the Giants with the stupid jerseys. And then
the helmets were cool. The helmets
were cool. Wait, you're telling me you wasted a whole year to come out like that? And it wasn't even like if you want to say, oh, it was on other people. No, it wasn't. The defense was on a great attack. Our D-line, maybe not the secondaries, but the D-line was doing this thing early. You're talking about we got a fumble recovery early in the first quarter off of Ham. And we couldn't do nothing. We were 20 yards away from a touchdown. Ladies and gentlemen, let me say this again. 20 yards away from a touchdown.
Let me do the math. I think it's like 60. No, that's not. That's more than 60 feet because a yard is 3 feet. No, 60 feet.
And you didn't even get a touchdown at all throughout this game. We had nothing. But that was the closest. The minute in my mind, I go, okay, the first drive was a little bit shaky. If we could get a touchdown, I feel that we can win this game or play this game out. And we got a field goal. It just felt sickening that we have a line now, and it went throughout the game that can hold up. And people were trying to blame and try to be like, "Oh no, like it's the O-line's fault." I'm sorry. If you're a quarterback for 6 years in the pros, you need to be able to throw the ball into the chest and maybe a little bit higher for them to jump, not towards the freaking turf. Every single time that he had a pocket open or the wide receivers were open, he would throw it to the ground. It's like if he gets a whisper or a hand nearby him and he feels just a little bit of smidge of pressure, not even touching the dude, not even touching the blue on his jersey, and he puts it to the ground. You know how many third downs that we were in that all we just needed was a first down? And we could have had it. We could have had the first down, but no. Daniel Jones decides to, I'm just going to deke it. You can't keep on throwing it low, bro. You've been in the league for 6 years. You should know that you should not be throwing it fucking low. This was a winnable game. I'm sorry if people don't believe it, but it was a winnable game if you literally came out the same way that the defense came out. And I'm sick as a Giants fan for our defense to be the ones that gets the hit. Sexy Dexy after the game was going off with the fans booing them. And like, I get that. I understand that if you're getting booed off, you should just boo the person that's responsible.
Well, no, he was mad that they were booing Jones, but
Oh,
here's the thing. New York fans are extremely passionate. If you're
100%.
spending your hard-earned money to go to a game, and here's the thing, Andrew Thomas, he was hurt a lot last year. He had the best pass blocking grade according to PFF week 1. The only player in the NFL over 90, 90.4. The issue is Daniel Jones, and people are like, oh, the play calling. There was one play, I was watching film, it was an RPO. Now, it means run pass option. You read the defense during the play to see what you do. Daniel Jones predetermined what he was going to do before the play even started.
Was that the run?
No, I think it was it might have been one of the picks, but the big issue is this: the defense didn't play super well. I will say Kayvon Thibodeau needs to get pressures more, but they're on the field all the time now. The offense is not having long drives. Malik Neighbors somehow had almost 70 yards with Daniel Jones as his quarterback. Just imagine how good he can be.
It was on target.
For at least some of them, they were. I think all of his catches were at least over 15 yards, which is great. But the thing is, Daniel Jones is running into pressure. He has a clean pocket, and he's going into pressure. Everyone says this.
Sad.
Oh, he needs give him a good offensive line. He's got one.
He got one. He got one.
And you scored. You can't score a touchdown. It's the second year in a row the Giants have failed to score a touchdown. Week 1. I don't know what they did. I can't remember what they did 3 years ago.
The worst part, not the worst part, because I shitted on this person, but it has to come to think of it that, yo, maybe it's time to put Tommy Cutlets in or Drew Lock, because I'm sick and tired.
They need Jones, because then if Jones plays, we have the best chance to lose. I feel like if we put Locke or someone in, Brian Dable brought I know we had a cupcake schedule that year, but Brian Dable brought us to the playoffs and won a playoff game. I feel like if you put someone else in, he will find some way to get us out of the first pick.
I get that, but I just don't want to have Jones in the starting lineup anymore. I want us to win. I want us to whip this team, because I feel like we still are like the laughing stock now. We are literally the laughing stock of the organization. I don't care if the Panthers are right now. We're the laughing stock. We're the team that's supposed to be winning, and we're not. We let go. Well, we didn't sign somebody called Saquon Barkley, who scored 3 touchdowns. And then compared to us, we couldn't score shit.
Well, the thing with Barkley is, and the only way I'll defend him is we had a choice of re-signing Barkley for the big money or really fixing the rest of the team. I love Barkley. We offered him the same contract a year ago. It's clear he didn't want to come back. I don't blame him. It's the offensive line. Now, I love Barkley. After, I've gotten over the grudge. I want him to do well, just not win the Super Bowl. But I still don't support paying running backs big money. It never pays out.
I'm just saying that. But no, everybody else getting paid, but like that's the only thing. If everybody else is getting paid, then yeah, I see where you're going with, like, because they do tend to get
the Eagles, just not the Eagles,
the injuries. But besides all of that, just as a Giants fan, I feel like we were all devastated coming into this first game, thinking that it could be actually competitive, and it wasn't. It totally was just the opposite. Like, it blew it up in our faces. We weren't really expecting this, and then now people are like New York fans. We're just going to show you how we feel towards you guys. We're going to boo you, curse you out, do something. We can't physically fight you. We can't physically touch you guys because we will go to jail. But I feel like some New York fans would. But the point is of week 1 was, wow, we spent a whole 6 years with this bum ass quarterback. Had one fluke season that he did well in, that did pretty well in, got a contract, and now it's just chilling. Because I don't see a team picking him up. I really don't see a team picking
more
him up.
Pick sixes than touchdown passes since the now the one praise I'll give in this contract, only half of it was guaranteed. He's gonna be cut at the end of the year for only like $20 million in dead cap. And I don't like Jones, but if he did this, let's say 2 years later, he'd be getting $60 million. 40 is looking like a bargain. Now, the bigger issue is this. What's going to happen? Will Dable loses? I think Brian Dable is the
No.
coach of the future. Most coaches, when they come to a new team, they want a new quarterback. They didn't pick up the option for Jones for that reason because they didn't know. Then they end up winning winning a playoff game. And I will say, Jones looked incredible in that
He
game,
did.
but it was one of the
But
worst
it was-
defenses in NFL history.
But at the same time, it was just like in my mind, Jones peaked maybe in the second half. He wasn't good in the first half. He would peak in the second half. But even if he's not having a good game, he relies on people. Like we really did rely on Saquon with a couple of games, heavy games to load out for. But now we can't even get a touchdown, bro. We can't even get a touchdown. And to the people who said the lack of offense, I don't think people watched the game. We were good. Wide receivers, they were open. Some of them were covered. I'm not gonna say all the time they were open all the time, but when he needed to throw, he just clenched off to the ball. Like I saw that. I think it was Robinson. It was Robinson, and then I forgot his name. Slayton. They both not wheeled out, but the route was to the right side. Both were open because I'm like trying to look at the play again because he dicked it off to like
Let me guess, he checked it down.
He checked it down.
Of course he did.
For a gain of like 5 yards, so it was like 2nd and 5 or something like that, right? You had two people, not like deep, but like past the first down, maybe a good extra 15, 20, not 15, 20, 10, 15. And then you're telling me you're not throwing to those people. You're just going to put a little check down and that's it. And then move the line. No, we said in the beginning of the year, the New York Giants would be a pass deep team. A pass deep. We're going to try to throw deep passes because we have the material. But you're telling me the quarterback is the one that's just going to be like, I don't feel like it. I'm just going to check it down. I'm tired of it. I am sick and tired of it. Coming into this next week, go up against. Please tell me who they're going up against.
I think it's the Commanders.
The Commanders?
Let me double check. I'm not exact. Let me confirm. It is the Commanders. We're not going to stop. Here's the. Now I will say this: Malik Neighbors had 5 catches for 66 yards. I saw a stat about like some of the most separation. Neighbors is going to be great. Once Jones leaves. Now I will say Jaden Daniels, he was really running a lot. So now Brian Byrne, there were a lot of costly penalties on defense, but I will say this. I love Kayvon Thibodeau, and I knew he was a project when we drafted him. But I'm going to need to see more. You didn't have a single pressure all game. And then when they ask you in the post game about, this team is relying on the defense, how did you guys not get like some pressures? He says, next question. Dude, you came to New York. You gotta answer the questions. Like, I know you're frustrated, and it's not his fault because everyone's gonna nitpick. Did have double-digit sacks last year, but the one thing was, besides the sacks, he wasn't making tackles. I think is gonna be fine, but
he's gonna be fine. He's in a slump, probably, and it does happen with teams. Is when your offense is not cooking, then your momentum stops like going off. You start just be like, all right, it's going to be one of those days, guys. It's just going to be one of those days. I don't think I'm just going to do it right now. And it sucks, but like you said, you have to answer that question. It can't be it's the New York media. Yeah, we're not in like week 6 or week 7 and we're still sucking and they're asking you that question because then I'll be pissed off. I'll be like, all right, next question. This is the first week. You should say how you feel. Move the fuck on. Shouldn't be, I'm not answering. Should be, I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, but like say what you did. Say that you messed up a play. Do better next time. That's it. That makes you a better player, and that makes you a better person to be talking about. But going off, I think our defense, besides our secondary, I think our defense is solid. We are there. We are still as a team on defense. We're still going up against numbers early. It's just that the lack of offense. Well, it's not even offense. The lack of quarterback trying to push us into a touchdown. Because that's it. That's what our defense is made off of. If we can feed the defense like, all right, if you stop them, we'll get to touchdown that we need. Okay, we got that touchdown. All right, can you stop them again because we need a touchdown or a field goal? Oh, you stopped them again? All right, guys, we're just going to keep on help us help you. It feels like the defense is helping but not receiving the help back. And that's what stops them. And it's not crazy enough. It's just, when is this suffering going to end? When is this going to be now? Okay, the offense is helping. Now the defense helps out. Then we can hold on to a lead, because it's mostly defense, and then maybe out of luck we get an interception, and then it's like, all right, offense. Like, if we really need to get back, we need to put up a point, not a field goal. Literally 6 points, and then a field goal attempt to get to 7, to get that extra point. It's none of these 3-point games anymore. I'm sick of it. And then and I get it with Brian Daboll's trying to go for it more like he did in his first year. But when the quarterback is not rocking like he wants to do and run, it's like one of those days that you have to go, all right, like, you got to stop with it. Try to get something going, because it's sickening. It is really sickening. But besides me saying it's sickening, with the Commanders coming in, they're 0-1, we're 0-1. I think they're playing at MetLife.
No, we're in Washington.
We're in Washington. That might be tough. I was gonna come in here if they beat the Vikings. I was gonna come in here saying like, oh, we got the Commanders, like we always do. But I don't know. They almost beat the Buccaneers. They almost beat the Buccaneers, which I was just like,
the game wasn't close till the end. But no, let me mention a couple things. Now, first of all, we had more time of possession against the Vikings, but in terms of total yards per play, Vikings 6.1, Giants 3.5. Jones is not throwing the ball deep. Also, 9 penalties, 95 yards for the Giants. There were 2 big costly ones, 2 face masks, one from Thibodeau, one from Brian Burns. Burns owned up to it, which I appreciate. Now, the thing with the Giants right now is this. The offense is there, and I will say that the secondary was a little bit sus. But as you said, we expected this to be one of the games. Now, if we're looking down the line, people are like, oh, look at the Germany game. That I feel so. Giants-Panthers. Now, the way the Giants played, that might be the Giants' only win this year. That is how poor they looked. And that's extremely sad to say, because
oh my God. If the Giants, I can't even shake this off, because I talked a lot of crap about the Panthers this upcoming year.
Oh no, the Panthers the Panthers are still terrible.
If some way, somehow the New York Giants lose to the Panthers, that's it.
It'll be a Brian Burns legacy game, though.
Because people are going to be like, all right, now is it the coach? They're going to be like, is it time for him to leave? In my mind, and still, I will be riding with Brian, because he still doesn't have the quarterback that he needs. He doesn't have the quarterback he needs. He doesn't have the quarterback that can control the offense. The only quarterbacks that we've seen were the secondaries. That's crazy that the bench players are doing better than you. You know what's crazy too? Daniel Jones, look up the stat. I heard it out of First Take. When he was playing, right, out of all the starts with his 7, 6 or something like that, right? With that, he only won 1 game. I'm not talking about his rookie year, because he won a couple. Since like his injuries or something like that.
I think it's since the it might be since the new contract.
The new contract, my bad. Since the new contract, he only won 1 game.
And he has more touchdowns than the other team to our touchdowns.
It just baffles me, because I get it that you got injured a couple times. The worst one was last year. I get it. 100%, get healthy, get better, see you next season. But you're getting paid that much money to be a quarterback. You know what comes in with that contract. You know that you're going to take a beating. You know that you have to get better at your arm. You know that you have to, if you're not good at throwing deep, you have to come up with something to get better.
That's one of the things Jones was good at. We thought he has a great deep ball. He just doesn't throw it. And
he doesn't throw it.
It makes you wonder. Yes, he had the ACL tear, but what made Daniel Jones so good in that playoff game and down the stretch that year we made the playoffs was his dual threat ability. Remember, and you're going to hate this stat, but I have to say it. In 2021, Daniel Jones was the fastest recorded quarterback in the NFL. I'm not saying he's better than Lamar. Let me just re-say. I saw Daniel Jones is fast. He used his legs as the ability to extend plays to, and also he can throw the ball deep. We saw it several times,
But he doesn't do it.
He doesn't do it
accurately.
anymore.
He doesn't do it. I think he got scared. I really want to say he got
has
scared.
Absolutely no confidence right now. But here's the thing. Is it because he has no confidence because he can't handle the pressure in New York? Or is it because, think of this, like with Eli. Now, Geno should have never started that game. I will never forgive Ben McAdoo for that, but whatever. Eli always was responsible and accountable. When he was bad, when he was benched for Jones, he was like, I'm not playing well. I feel like we don't hear. Look at what Aaron Judge does in his post games. He says we're not playing well, or this. Like when he's been bad, or best case is Giancarlo Stanton. He's had a hot and cold relationship with New York. When he's playing bad and they boo him, they ask him, how do you feel about being booed? He's like, I'd boo myself if I'm not playing well. They deserve to boo me. And then now, don't wait outside the stadium and say bad things to Jones. Like, I get that these players do have feelings, and we gotta care. Like, boo them on the field, but like.
They have feelings.
Don't take personal shots.
I get that. I mean, you're a calm person.
You have to have thick skin.
You're a calm person, but I don't know, because I would still be one of those people. But like, we waited 6 years for this bum to do exactly what he's been struggling since rookie year. I'm sorry. I would have called him a couple more things and then left. Like I paid good money. Some of those people paid good, hard, goddamn money. Did extra shifts. Not seeing the kids for a minute, tried to go to the season opener of a Giants game, and you come out like this? Yes, I'm going to be not throwing stuff, but I'm going to be hurling some curse words at you that your own grandma would have a heart attack. I'm sorry with that, but I get where you're coming with, but what I'm coming with, people come to these games, and these tickets are not cheap.
No,
they're not cheap.
Parking is like 60 as well.
And we haven't gone to a Super Bowl in a minute. And tickets are not cheap. And I know people out there, they not struggle with money, but just to go to see the game with their friends, see the game with their spouses, their kids, it's gonna take a lot of money and their time and effort to go see a game. And like I said, you come out like.
There wasn't even any promise. That's the thing. Like, all we asked for, if we lost, show us something.
Something.
Like
something that goes, oh, shoot, our offense is cooking with the quarterback. If he just, like, slows down, then we'll be fine. Fine, I'll be happy with that. If the score came down to that, we lost by a field goal, I'm fine with that. But it comes down to them leading by a margin that you look at, the minute you look at it, you just go, man, we're back to square motherfucking one. It's pitiful. So yes, there's some people that are like, oh, you shouldn't be doing that as a fan. Like, you love your team so much, but it's like, I say
all you want. Just don't send Twitter messages about that. Like, that's where I draw the line. But no, and I have to agree with you. It's like, you got to have a thick skin. You're not playing well. You're gonna hear it. Now, I get Dexter Lawrence defending his teammate. I get that. But then you look at Myles Garrett and what he said. Now, Myles Garrett they're not going to boo him because he's a should be two-time defensive player of the year. But he's they paid hard-earned money. If we're not playing well now, that's a topic for another day, because Deshaun Watson got sued again. But you're going to get, you play in Jersey. The fans are mainly from New York, New Jersey. You're in I would say, the toughest sports market in at least the United States, potentially the entire world. There is no one as much media coverage, as people as strict and straight to the point. It's not like with the Yankees where some reporters don't ask the questions. Football, it's fair game. They're asking them all the hard-earned questions.
Any fucking question they're gonna ask you. Any tough questions they're gonna fucking ask you.
The thing is, it was on Hard Knocks as well. Daniel Jones said he took offense to the Giants looking for a quarterback. Didn't look like that to me.
Dude. I'm sorry. Homeboy took a offense of the Giants looking for if I was one of his friends, and I'm sorry, you could be my best friend. You could go Division I. You start for a team. You're the man, yada, yada, yada. And you go, oh, I took offense to that. I will look and I would be like, okay, so what are you going to do? And if you go, oh, I'm going to do something about it. I'm like, all right, let's go, motherfucker. I will go to the fullest extent. I'm like, I bet money that you wanted to have a good season. Not because I don't want to see you win. It's just because I want you to get to another level. And if he got a little butt hurt and little, you guys are looking out for somebody else, but I'm your number one. I did blah, blah, blah. Excuse me, sir. Are you winning for us? Are you barely winning? Are you actually going the extra mile, or are you being a little clam in a shell saying, oh, I don't want to go with that extra pass because I'm scared that it might turn into an interception, or that when I'm about right here, it's going to be a fumble. I'm not trying to do it. Then I'm sorry, Dan Jones, you got to loosen up a little bit or get the out of New York City and not throw a football your entire life. We're done with it. I'm done with it. You have been a sickness to this organization that we've been trying to figure out if it was our quarterback, running back, or offense. And we find out that it is not the all line right now. It's not our running backs. It's motherfucking you. And you said that you got offended and you still didn't do jack shit. To me, if I got that much money and I knew that my fourth, fifth season and I sucked and I still got that money down, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should just go MIA. Tell the Giants organization, say, hey, I'm going somewhere with a trainer. Call up a couple quarterbacks, top quarterbacks who were in the league. I have the money now. I'm going to call up them, try to sit down with them, try to go with different types of techniques to throw the ball, to throw it accurately. I'm calling them up. I don't care who. Somebody dead ass out there in the NFL today who was retired, who is a Hall of Famer, can definitely help this kid get to where the Giants organization can see. If he got offended, if he had a fire in his belly, he would go after it. But we all know that he doesn't. We all know that when he got that contract, I know dang well he looked at it and went, yippee, I got more money. Finger looking good, baby. Finger looking good. And I'm just going to chillax and just ride this team out. That's what you get when you pick up a dude from Duke. That's what you get for picking up a dude. And I'm saying this because I have a vendetta. You don't pick people from these colleges, these non-so real big colleges as quarterbacks. You don't pick them up. You don't. And I don't care what people say. They're like, oh, that's ridiculous. There's definitely a lot of people in small.
He wasn't good. They fell in love with him over the Senior Bowl game. He wasn't good.
He wasn't good. And let that be rest down. With your comment saying that he got a little butt hurt, like I would say again, and we'll go on to the next question. If you had a fire in your stomach to be better than yourself, you would have gotten it done. You would have gone for this organization. You would have, and I'm not even pressing him for a freaking Super Bowl win. I'm just pressing you to get us to the NFC Championship. I'm just pressing you to see, hey, our last good quarterback, right, was Eli Manning.
Go Hall of Famer next year. Hall of
Famer. Can you be just not a smidge, but can you just give us like a 50% chance that you could be something like him? You're not getting the whole 100. You're not getting the whole Eli. But can you just live up to it just a little bit? I get it's a lot in your, to fill in those shoes, because those are some big freaking shoes to just scratch out Eli Manning with him. But can you do something that make me go, that's my quarterback. I'll ride and die with that quarterback. Because now, as a fan with Daniel Jones, I will put him on a plane, send directly to a volcano, and just let it be. Just let it be. Because we're done. We're done. I'm not saying people to do this. It's not Daniel Jones. Don't do it, because that's some dumb stuff. But what I'm just saying, I need him out of my life, and we will be fine. Once he's out, it's bad. We're fine.
You know it's bad when Jackson, who despises Tommy DeVito, is asking for him. Like, this man, like,
I hate him.
I hate him so much. He hates Jason Tatum, everyone on the Celtics, and then Tommy DeVito, random currently third-string quarterback.
Wait a second. With Boston, I hate Jason Tatum. Everybody else, they all right with me.
Yeah.
They all right with
me. Just to wrap it up, also, Jackson, I will say this. The clips I have today, I have to blurt out the curse words so we can potentially get monetized. Right. But, bro, the finger-licking good clip, oh, my God, that was perfect.
I was just thinking of it, but
No, that rant you went on about the fire under. But yeah, so just to wrap this up, it means we're not asking for a lot. Now, Jackson and I can be considered some of the most Now, we both had two different. He had a winning season. I didn't. But we are both extremely We're optimistic. We wanted something. The fact that we are both like, oh no, after one, honestly, for me, it was after the second quarter, after that pick six. I'm like, here we go again. It's the same issue as last year. He's staring his receivers down. And I truly, truly hope Dable and Joe. Now, I will say, Joe Shane's first draft when he had Kayvon and Evan Neal and other people, not good. Again, the draft this hard. But
yeah,
the bigger issue is this. Daniel Jones is going to get someone fired. I think it's going to come down to this, and here's my take. The only way Dable gets fired is if he benches Daniel Jones midseason. If he wants to say, if Brian Dable wants to save his job, there's one thing he can do. So if Daniel Jones gets benched, I can guarantee you that is going to show that, hey, because if he makes Drew Lock, now Drew Lock has been really bad, except for that one game against the Eagles. Good job. But if he can make Drew Lock look competent, that will save his job. Of course, he's not going to bench him after week 1, but I guarantee you the only way Brian Dable can save his job is if he benches Daniel Jones and shows the Giants, hey, look what I can do with a quarterback that actually has some decent abilities.
No, I agree with that. I thought you said not bench him. My bad.
No, bench him.
I was going crazy. I was like, what?
No, bench him.
I was
you
like,
have to bench him. No. You have to.
D. Jonesy.
I mean, he's dating Is he dating Kay Adams, or is that just the rumor?
Kay Adams is wearing the pants of that relationship. I don't care if they're dating or not. If he's dating that woman, she's wearing the pants.
Bro, he looks like an NPC. Have you seen like his stare? He looks like an NPC. He scares me.
All I gotta say with this is what I gotta say. I'm gonna look back into it. Just give me 1 second, because it's the New York Giants. I'm just gonna go based off this. We got Washington coming up. After that, they don't even give me the schedule. Are you?
I can read it out for you.
Read it out for me.
So the New York Football Giants schedule, it is considered one of the harder schedules. So actually, Commanders.
Oh wait, I got it right here.
All Browns, right. Cowboys, Seahawks, Bengals, Eagles, then Steelers, Commanders, Panthers, Buccaneers, Cowboys, then Saints, Ravens, Falcons, Colts, and Eagles.
Okay. So for the next 3 games, because there's 3 games left in the September season. September part, right?
Yeah.
So with Washington, this is what I'm gonna say. If we can't beat Washington, right?
Who has the worst secondary in football, by the way.
So it's doable. So it's a doable win.
Baker Mayfield was throwing the ball deep to everyone.
Dude, I really thought they were going to win. I really thought they were going to beat Baker, but nope. But you're telling me if we can't beat them, definitely there has to be a decision of letting Jones be benched. Now, we go to the Browns, we win. Cool. With Dan Jones, I'm cool with that.
Because that's a good defense. That's a great
defense. That's a hell of a defense. If we went off of that with Jones, I'm cool with that. So now we're looking at a 1-2. A record is 1-2 now. Now, if DJ is going up against the Cowboys,
I think, let me check where it's home.
It is home. Oh, good. Great. A great home game. If I don't see any competitiveness, if I don't see going for the extra yard, if I don't see the ball going to the chest of our receivers, I'm telling homeboy to pack it up. Sit the fuck down. My bad. Sit down. You're done. Think about the offseason. Think about what some teams who are going to pick you. Probably the Panthers might pick you.
Honestly, he'll be a great career backup.
Great. But you're not on this team anymore. You are not on this team anymore, because I do not want to go through October, November, and then in October, mid-October, you're benched them. Nah. I want to see if we have something with our wide receivers.
We definitely do. Neighbors looked great, and he only had 5 catches. He had one said about crazy separation. We got Neighbors, and if you look at now, I will say this: I don't want Shedeur Sanders in the draft, and here's why. No disrespect to Dion, he cannot handle the New York pressure. We're also not on his list of teams. He also keeps blaming his offensive line when, yeah, but that picks it. Anyway, there's
Yeah,
some
but
good
I would
quarterback.
say with
Carson Beck is there. The Giants team right now with that defense and that offensive line, they very well could put a new quarterback in if they draft one. Let's say like a Carson Beck. You could easily win 10 games next year.
But if I would say like this, I do see before we end this, I do see potential in Shador.
We're just not on his list. That's the thing.
But
Remember,
the thing
Dion has a
is,
list.
I know he has lists. You can't be going by your father's list saying like, "Oh, you go for this team." I get it. He's been with you. He's your father. I get that.
Technically, he can though.
Dion. I get that. But if the Giants, let's just say the New York Giants, and he's still on the roster, and let's say the Giants could pick him up, would I be happy with it? Kinda, because I don't know what he's going to do in that pocket situation. He might have more help, more attributes around him. But like you said, New York City is a tough environment.
They're going to eat him alive.
And people say like, "Oh, how is it a tough environment? You guys not that win." I was like, dude,
you walk off of a press conference like now I get why he walked off the field with 2 minutes. He did look like he was concussed. But blaming the offensive line like that, and then when the pick six was his fault, Shador, when he has time in the pocket, he can really throw a nice ball. But we're not on his list, and also the list now has everyone. All those teams now have a quarterback. The only one was potentially Dallas, and guess what? Dallas just signed Dak Prescott.
I would say like this: you really thought, and I get it that Dallas needs a quarterback, quote unquote.
Dak ain't winning them anything. Dak's not winning them anything.
Dak's not going to win them anything, but you really think Shador was going to win you something? I still feel like the organization for the Cowboys is still in shambles. Like, yeah, they're going to have a regular season year, like we always say, but it's still the Cowboys. It's still the Cowboys. You still have the same team. You're going off.
Their starting running back is Zeke Elliott. The year is 2020. It ain't 2016. It is 2024. Now, Jackson, this is not Giants, but I did want to ask you this so I can clip this. Right. Did you watch the Tyreek Hill body cam?
Yeah, I saw the video.
I wanted your opinion on it.
I really thought in the beginning because they were trying to
that first clip, like when he wasn't rolling the window down.
Oh yeah, no. When I saw that he was rolling the window down, like I was like, okay, but I was like, okay. He literally said to the officer, like he will comply. He just rolled up the window, right, and then he was like, knock it down. If you hear during the video, one of the officers says, "Oh, yo, that's Tyreek Hill." The minute they said that his name was, he just gets all just not juiced up, but like it's an ego of him trying to get him out of the car. And he was like, "No, I'm not gonna do this." He's all right, get out the car now. They're like, "I'll bash the window in." I was like, "What the fuck?"
Also, they also said the worst part of it, well, the entire thing was said, was when Tyreek said he had surgery on his knee. He's like, when they're like,
that's what I was gonna go to.
The guy goes, but also,
and
he tried to stand up to Calais Campbell, who, let me get his exact height and weight, but he is a Calais Campbell. Calais Campbell, by the way,
Ravens, right?
Yes, Calais Campbell, by the way, is 6'8", 300 pounds, and you're saying get back in your car, I'll arrest you. You know what I'm gonna say? Good luck. He is well.
Good fucking luck.
Thank God that one person that was filming. I will commend the Miami-Dade PD for releasing the entirety. But I will say this: they wouldn't have released it all if it wasn't Tyreek Hill.
Oh,
no chance in if this was just a random person, there's no way in hell.
It's Miami. The like people put in they were saying, well, Tyreek was having attitude towards the cops. And I was like, I would have the fucking attitude towards the cops. It was off of not even speeding. It was not even off of speeding. And you're telling me, oh, roll down my windows. He was complying. He rolled.
The one thing I will say is he did keep rolling it up, but then again, the fact that once he then rolled it down, then that cop got aggressive. Now it did also look like Tyreek was a little late. Again, don't be late to a game. But then again, you should know it's Tyreek Hill.
In my mind, the minute the cop said, "Oh, it's Tyreek Hill," I thought it was gonna be okay, Like, give
No,
him a
that guy
shirt.
just like,
No,
oh,
he was like,
it's my big day.
the minute he was like, oh, I got a celebrity. It's like, oh, yo, no, this is going down. This is going down. I'm like, dude, you're a cop in Miami, right? There's a lot of like illegal stuff, not legal, illegal stuff in Miami that you could get people arrested from. But you just arrested him because he was a celebrity, a black celebrity, just to want to put it on
traffic violation.
traffic violation. Which in my mind, I was
Give him a
like,
ticket.
bro,
If he was speeding, if he was speeding. Now, I did watch the video. It did look like he was speeding, although it's really hard to tell in the video how fast he was going,
because some of those cameras delay or have that was delay effects. But in my mind, I'm like, even with that, let's just put that it wasn't even a speeding ticket. You should have just gave him the ticket and went on with your day. He should have never touched that ground. He should have never touched that ground. And the minute
you don't pull him out of the damn car for no reason. He was literally getting out. You got to give him more than 2 seconds to register. He did have off-season knee surgery.
And then that was another problem. When they said it, they even went further to try to injure him. I'm like, yo.
It's that one. And I think also after, like, they realized this now. Again, before we end it, props to the PD for releasing the body cam footage.
100%.
If this cop is not like, if they say, oh, he's just internally suspended on paid leave.
They got your face, homeboy. You're done.
They found his LinkedIn. They found that he's a Buffalo Bills fan. The memes are good.
God. Dude, like
now I will say, Antonio Brown, we all know, is incredibly insane. But if you want a good laugh, put his tweet notifications on during football. Antonio Brown said, I believe, I hope I'm not mistaken, he said, Hill should have done this celebration, and he posted a picture of Derek Chauvin and George Floyd. And I'm like, AB, stop. He then gave the cop that arrested Tyreek cracker of the day. I'm like, AB, you can't be doing this. You can't be doing this. That is a bad joke. It's kind of funny.
AB is a clown, like a funny ass dude, but like at the same time, like no, don't do that.
No, anything else.
Second, like this dude just says what he needs to say. Like this dude has aggressive CTE, like, and it's sad. It is really sad because like a lot of football players have it.
It just doesn't show.
It just doesn't show, or it fucking shows, and they just don't give a fuck. And it's gonna come down to one way or another. Like, yes, football, the game that we all love, it's gonna become like a soft league.
The hell. I think honestly, I have the hot take here. And we'll do about 5 more minutes, then I gotta go. But I don't think they're actually gonna. People are like, oh, it's gonna go to tag. No, the technology of the helmets are getting better. I just think here's the thing. You know how you can fix it? You want to play football, you know the risks. Give these players, once they retire, all the access to mental health, all the health care. If you can give them that,
yes, contract,
but they when they play football, they know the risks.
100%.
But give them all the support they can get after when they're done. Then I feel like, well, no, because that's why they're getting sued for billions of dollars every year. But anyway, that'll do it for Kingdom of Giants and sporadic talks about Antonio Brown, because CTESPN, never forget.
CTE, is that him?
Yes, CTESPN. That's what he does. He's one, but yeah. So props to Tyreek for that celebration, though. Perfection.
Yep.
Perfection.
Oh my god.
Oh, it was perfect. Tua still sucks. He still sucks. Jackson and I both hate Tua, so you won't find any haters, bigger haters of Tua than Jackson and I. Dude's
just a glorious, like
Daniel Jones would be a Pro Bowl quarterback with that offense. You have track stars.
Daniel Jones would probably win a Super Bowl MVP with that quarterback, with that O-line, with the O-line and the wide receivers and the everybody. Because all you have to do is just go, oh, Hill's out there? All right, I'll just chuck it.
You overthrow him? No, you can't.
Nope. Waddles, I'm like, whoa, I was
Waddle's fast as hell.
You really think that, like, there was no chance that he was going to go into the playoffs? And if the Chiefs' kingdom wasn't for a reason. I really
Also,
feel
I
like
will.
they
The
would.
one thing about that game is, though, and I do have to leave informants, but press them. I don't understand why teams play zone coverage against the Dolphins. Like you think, oh yeah, we have one person over the top. We can stay into Tyreek
Press them.
is you could say the fastest player in NFL history. You could
He
say,
is,
or at least
but
the fastest wide receiver.
Okay, I'll give maybe fastest wide receiver, but all you gotta do with Talua is just like once you get like 2 sacks on him, he starts sucking.
I mean,
He start,
Jacksonville almost beat him.
and that should be an obvious like indicator that not Tyreek Hill, that Talua fucking sucks.
All right, that'll be it for us. We hope to come back next week with a positive, not just positives, a positive, one positive. Maybe like, you know what? The goal next week, let's score a touchdown. Just one. We got this.
I got it.
Oh,
The goal next week is no double-digit lead. No fucking double-digit lead. That's it.
Yeah, let's try to lose by 9 points or less. 9 points or less. 9 points or less.
9 points or less, I'll be fine with it.
We are gonna make Deshaun Jackson. We are gonna make Deshaun Watson is gonna look at us like a bed at his random hookup's house, and he's gonna get naked and dot us up. Also, let me end it. But Jackson, did you see the report